What is up, guys? I wanted to make this video today because lately the SpongeBob Tower Defense updates have been kind of mid, to say the least. It's just been super repetitive and super, kind of just not great stuff. Nothing new has been released since the Rogue mode. It's just been the same copy-paste event that we've had since the Bubble Bowl event back in February. And it's just kind of frustrating, to be honest. And I want to make this video to kind of give some ideas of things I'd love to see in SpongeBob Tower Defense. Now, I know we're getting Tower Karate in a week, and I know that will be something new and unique, but of course that's not always going to be the case. After a while, it's going to kind of get repetitive as well. So I really want to hammer down some ideas I have that may help with future features and for the game and such, to help keep it alive, Also some event ideas, some quality of life ideas. I want to use this video to kind of vent about some ideas I have for the game that could really help it. Also, this is not me saying the game is dying, even though the past few 2 months the updates have been kind of boring and just the same events over and over. I still am very happy and still am having fun with the game and with the streams and everything. It's not like I'm going to stop making content for this game. I just want to make that clear. This is not like a game is dying, we need to cancel SpongeBob Tower Defense. No. This is ideas to help keep the game alive and feeling fresh. So let's go ahead and get into my first idea. Alright, so one thing I have been crying out on my streams and stuff for is a player versus player mode in SpongeBob Tower Defense. I feel like that is just so fun, and it's just such a free idea that they're kind of missing out. It's not hard to do. I mean, I know I'm not a game designer, I'm not a coder, I know it will take time to make, but they have the blueprints right in front of them. And I want to turn to a game called Balloons Tower Defense Battle. If you've ever played that game before, basically how it works is that you will be facing an opponent and you will both be defending your own lawn, in a sense. And so from there, what you can do is you can spend your money to place units to defend from the balloons that are coming in from the game. But also you can also spend money to send enemies and balloons to the opponent. So it's kind of like this fun little balancing feature that should I spend money to upgrade my units and place down more units, or should I spend my money to attack my opponent and try to overwhelm them so they start taking damage? It's really fun and it's really cool, and we actually see it in Five Nights TD too. They have a game mode like that, and it's a lot of fun too. And I think it would be great to have in SpongeBob Tower Defense, having a global ranking system and a global leaderboard for this would also enhance the game mode. Having exclusive units for the mode and exclusive currency, it would just be such a cool mode. I would love to see it added in the game. The theme I was thinking around it would be around the Fry Cooks game, if you remember that episode. So it would just be taking place in the arena where they do the final boxing match. And some unit ideas I had was the giant fish that carries Patrick. At the start would be a nice secret unit, and then you got Ice Cream Patrick, I think it's fried SpongeBob or something, and just have some of the units of some of the events they do. Coach Mr. Krabs, Coach Blindton, or some other ideas for some units, and eventually swap them out for maybe a different theme or something, and kind of have some of the maps switch between the themes, to update the game mode, do new maps and stuff like that. It would just be such a cool game mode to have. I would love to see it in the game. It just, I don't know, it's such a free game mode. I would love it. I know content creators would love it. I know players would love it. It would just be such a great addition to the game. Alright, so this idea is a bit more original, and I just feel we need a new form of endless, because the current endless we have right now is we've already reached wave 1000 with the units we're having. It's kind of getting stale and boring, and then having a new form of endless would be really nice. And my idea is this new kind of tower game mode. If you ever played Scare Tower in Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, it's like that. It's so basically in that game you would go around catching ghosts, going up a tower, and each level would present different challenges and stuff like that. I think something like that for SpongeBob Tower Defense would be great doing it in like a tower defense like format. Like you'll get like different modifiers and stuff like that. Like each floor you have to defeat 15 waves of enemies, and as you progress your way up, it gets harder and harder. But as you get higher and higher, the rewards get better and better. You get like more crates, or maybe like boosted crates with exclusive units in it or something. And I was thinking of theming it around the Krusty Towers. You know, I initially thought that this is what Tower Karate was going to be about, but from what the sneak peeks we've been getting, it seems to be something completely different, which I'm kind of glad about, because like this is kind of like the obvious choice, but it still would be a really cool thing to have, like an endless tower like mode to kind of keep us engaged with different challenges, keep us engaged. I think one of the big things SpongeBob Tower Defense is missing is truly challenging game modes, because even JV Jones, which once was very difficult and actually presented a pretty big challenge, is easy. It's just straight up easy right now. And you know, having like an endless tower mode that like as you progress your way up gets more and more challenging, but you can get better and better rewards, and having people compete to like see who can make it to the highest in the Krusty Towers would just be really cool. You know, as for like the unit theming and stuff like that for the crate and stuff like that, I have no idea. I mean, you could add like Bellhop on job, Patrick, Mr. Krabs and such, that like those would be some decent units. And I'm not sure what they would do for a secret unit. It could just be like a random really cool unit from an era episode, and I think I'd be happy. But like it just something like that, just like a cool little endless tower, and like adding like a leaderboard to it to like publicly know like who's at the top, who's made it the farthest, would just be really, really cool. All right, so look, I want to talk about an event idea, and I know for the first part of the video I was outwardly speaking against the events, but they're still cool. I like them. I like the formula we have, but you can't deny we've been getting way too many of these AFK crates and way too many of these events. So, you know, slow down on them, maybe do one every month or two, you know, and go from there, because it's just getting a bit much. This happened with the quest for unit stuff, and it's happening with the events and the AFK crates now. So we want something new. But once we can go back to events again, and once we can have another event, I really, really, really want an event based around the trench from the SpongeBob movie. I love this environment. I think the environment would be so cool. You could do so many cool like map gimmicks. Like one you could do is like building on like the side of like the walls and stuff, like when you drop like the downward spike the road has. I think that would be a really, really cool map gimmick, just having placing units on the side of the wall, you know, just like something cool, you know, in like a new map, but like trying new stuff, you know. Maybe like have the bosses change up every once in a while. I don't know, something cool. And also all the units you can do for this event, there's so many cool stuff. I know we already have Maximus, but there's plenty of other trench creatures which I do not know the name of. There's also that like angler fish we could do for like a secret. Dude, like there's so many cool things. I made a short about this, one of the very first shorts on my channel about this a while ago, and I want to hammer down this event again because I think it is a great idea, and I really want to hammer down this event. There's plenty more events we could do. We can do a sponge out of water event because we're still missing the robot Mr. Krabs and the realistic Sandy unit. So we can do an event where you can get those units as like a smaller one and make a map around it. You know, stuff like that, you know, really cool events, but like I really want them to try something new. They did try something new with their more recent event, and I'm glad they did, but it did get kind of boring after a while, and the currency you got from it was useless because the event that Roblox did sucked that it was based around. So yeah, but you know, there's so many cool stuff we can do with events, and I really want to see it at a Trends event so bad. All right, so to end this video off, I want to do a little section talking about some minor features and some quality of life things. Like there's 2 quality of life things I think they're missing out for this quality of life update we're getting on Friday. The number one thing is I think we need a sell option for units you can get out of boss battles, out of crates, rather than just summon. I think like within the index you should, or something like that, you should be able to like auto sell units that you don't want to get, because I'm so tired of my inventory being filled up with Gladiator Patricks, and once I open up all my Challenger crates, I'm going to be tired of all the grannies, all the Patty Obsessed Squidward, Snow Mollusk, and Spots, etc. Like just give us an option to auto sell those, because like I'm so tired of spending 15 minutes clicking through units. And also a little slider for the food, because I don't like that you either have the option to add all food or you have to click on each food item individually. Just add a little slider so we can easily choose how much food we can use for each unit, because I want to keep some of my more exclusive food, but I can't because like I have to spend 15 minutes clicking on food whenever I'm trying to upgrade a unit. It's just stupid. It's just dumb. Just give us a slider. As for like some more features I want them to build upon, because they've added some features in the past that like are really cool, but like they haven't built upon. The biggest one I can think of right now is crafting. Like, oh my god, dude, it was so cool when they added it. I like the idea behind it. I thought it was a really, really great idea. And it added like a lot of variety. It added replayability of old levels and stuff like that because you need those crafting materials. I think it was great. They haven't done much with it since then. Like since the Goo Lagoon update, they have not touched it. And I think it's kind of a missed opportunity because there's so many cool things. Like they can swap out some of the game passes, some of the units you can craft. They can add more stuff, add more crafting materials and such. Maybe add like weekly quests where you can get like special exclusive crafting materials to craft exclusive items. I don't know, something like that. Something like to add to the crafting ideas, because like it's such a cool idea and there's so much you could do to it and add to it, and it wouldn't be much effort because you already have the main concept right there, but they just haven't touched it. Like rather than like focusing on events and stuff like that, build upon like some of these existing ideas. Also Rogue could use some new cards, you know, some new ideas for cards and stuff like that to keep the game mode feeling fresh, because Rogue's starting to feel pretty easy now. I remember when it first came out, it was actually pretty difficult, but now it's just like super easy. Like you could do it like with just some of the limited and mythic units they've released lately super easily, because it's not that hard. It's really not. So adding some new cards or new curses to make it more difficult again, you know, or maybe making like a difficulty on the road, you know, just expanding upon these existing like game features. Boss battles too, adding some new bosses, switching out the units that are earned from the boss battles would be nice, you know. I want them to build upon some of these existing features. Like all these ideas I have been giving today won't be done in one update. Like these will be done throughout multiple updates, but I think these would all be great features and great additions in the game. Everything I said earlier as for major features, and like everything I said here for minor features. So that's why I gotta say that's like my main stuff I have written down right here for update fixes and you know, future updates. Alrighty, to end off this video, I want to thank you guys so much for listening to me rant for the past 10-12 minutes or so. I think it's around 12 minutes right now, and I really appreciate it. I really hope you guys like my ideas and think they are great ideas too, because I think they would add a lot to the game. And if you have ideas of your own, please share them in the comments section down below. I want to see your ideas there. I want to see like a whole community of people coming together and coming up with ideas for this game to make it great, because in order to keep a game alive and to keep a game thriving, community needs to be active and sharing their ideas too, because it's just what makes a game great. And I think SpongeBob Tower Defense, although it may sound stupid saying it out loud, but we can be a great community together. So thank you so much for listening to me, and please take the time to come up with some ideas of your own and put them in the comment section below, because I really want to hear them. Also, if you enjoyed, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton. Just you guys watching it to the end is always enough though. So just know, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.